Okay, all of the gusset plates have been installed on the bridges. And that was one of my major goals. So I thought. So at this point, it's kind of like a Christmas tree. When you start putting the lights on, you start to see it taking shape, but it still seems bare. Still seems naked, and that's what I'm getting from this. So I'm not going to stop here. um, I have some ideas of what I'm going to do. Like, for instance, in these channels right here on the ends, um, right here, we actually created some strips, but I don't know if I care for them in this particular place. In these channels, I think I want to see more of a cross bracing that I see on bridges. That's going to have to be worked out, but that's what I see. That's a major thing. I also think I want to install it on these I-beams here, the diagonals and the vertical sections here. And that probably is the next biggest task. It's going to be a lot of work. So I've spoke to Bruce about my ideas, and that's where we're at. The saga continues. Gusset plates look great. All right, so here is what I've come up with. I'm going to call it girder. That may not be the technical term, but that's what I'm going to call it. But it's basically the sections that will cover up those cavities that I showed you in the last segment. And what I've used is I got a 4x8 sheet of 20 thou styrene, which is very easy to work with. And of course, it's bendable and flexible. And the width of these is about 7/16 inches, which is about the width of those cavities. And very carefully, I trimmed several of these strips, and now I'm going to cut them to shape. Very, very thin, as you can see. And so this is what I've come up with on the bridge. As you can see, the strips right here. They may need filed just a bit, not much. Also on the top of the bridge, kind of zoom out a little bit. There we go. Just like that on the top of the bridge as well. And I'm just going to get coverage on the bridges. You can see back in the left-hand corner, I've done it on that bridge as well. So I'm moving right along. So far, it's going as planned. And so let me go ahead and move to the next step. All right, so moving into the next section and the next step, I believe I showed these earlier. If not, here they go. This is a product by a company called Archer, and they are known for their rivets. Unfortunately, they are no longer in business, so I scraped these up all over the internet as I could find them. And these ones are specifically for O scale and for O scale bridges. So you can see it's just a straight pattern. These are embossed resin. So when I run my finger over them, it is bumpy because these do protrude. So what I've done with them is I've cut these strips just like this. And these are just like any other decal. You dip them in warm water and the blue backing will come off. So you don't have to be completely neat with the cutting. You want to do your best because that's going to be a clear film. So I've cut several of these, and actually, believe it or not, one package goes a long way. And this is what I've come up with. Just like that. So I've done the same thing on the top of the bridge. Just like that. Got to be very careful with this. And it's actually across the black gusset plates. I have these going all the way over the top, but of course you can't see them there on the gusset plates. But remember, all of this will eventually be painted. So we won't have a black and white bridge, even though that might be pretty cool. So that's where we're at, and I need to carry on and get to the other 21-inch size bridge and get this same process going. We'll be back. I just can't stop. So what I want to do now is I want to add these strips with rivets up along the ends here, and of course on that side, and then on top of the bridge on these sections right here, where right now it's just a channel. And once again, it's just to add more detail, and most people will not necessarily be looking at the top of the bridge, but it's definitely low enough where some people will have to look down at it if they're close enough. So I'm going to add that as of now, and I'm also considering adding some kind of girder like such on all the I-beams inside the bridge. So that just elongates the project. And I'm not sure if I'm going to have it ready by my open house, but I'm going to get as far as I can. All right, everyone, just to keep this video going and to keep you in the loop to what's going on. So what I had to do to get the project where I needed to be and accomplish what I wanted to is I had to enlist some help. So I contacted a company called trainlayouts.com, who not only builds custom layouts, but they also do a lot of structures and bridges for the O-scale market. And so I contacted them, a gentleman named Stan, and Stan got me exactly what I wanted to realize this project. So we've got two different sections here. We've got this section here, I don't know how clear it is, but you can see it's just a strip of solid girder with rivets on each side. I'm going to use this on the outside of the 54-inch bridge. Now, in the last segment, you saw where I created basically that same design using styrene, and then I added those Archer rivets to it. I was going to do the same thing for the 54-inch bridge, but I decided to have Stan print those out or laser cut those out for me. So I'm going to try that on that particular bridge. And then we had this section also, several of these sections printed out. This is the lace girder that I want all three bridges to have, which brings a definite element of realism. And as you can see, there are rivets alongside on each side of this girder work as well as the X bracing inside. So I think with both of these items, I'm going to create what I imagine with these bridges. And just to give you a little sample, I'm almost finished with one of the 21-inch bridges. And that's pretty much what it looks like. Let me zoom out a little bit here without being too shaky. There you go. So you can see that this bridge is almost complete with the lace girder, and I just need to put it in the bottom where I've already started right here and just put it along those railings at the bottom. So I got a lot of work to do, especially getting through that 54-inch long bridge, or we'll see how how far we get.